Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and today I'm going to be giving you my March book haul. I went a little overboard this month and I bought 23 books, so I think it's safe to say that I have a book buying problem. But anyways, I'm going to be showing you the 23 books that I purchased for myself in the month of March. First, I have Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the sequel to Renegades, which I read earlier this year, and I absolutely loved it. I've been dying to get my hands on the sequel, and I finally have it, and honestly, the only problem I have with this book is the size is smaller than the other paperback. That really bothers me. Next, I have Traitor to the Throne and Hero at the Fall by Alwyn Hamilton. These are books 2 and 3 in the Rebel of the Sands trilogy. I read the first book, Rebel of the Sands, the end of 2018, and I really enjoyed it, and I really wanted to get my hands on the sequels, but because I owned the first book in paperback, I wanted to get the other 2 books in paperback as well, but the third one wasn't released in paperback until this month, so I just decided to wait to buy books 2 and 3, but now I have them and I can finally get on with the series. Next, I have a YA thriller, Nerve by Jan Ryan. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name. It seems simple, but it's not. I recently watched the film adaptation for this book and I really enjoyed it, so I decided to pick this book up. It's about these teens who are competing in this online game of dares, basically. So they're dared to do these dangerous things or like criminal activity, that kind of stuff, and they get money in return. I really enjoyed the movie, so I'm excited to read the book. Next, I have another YA thriller, The Raft by S.A. Bodine. This book is about these 2 teens who are in a plane crash and they are stranded in the middle of the ocean and they have to fight for survival. And the problem is the main character's family has no idea that she was even on the plane, so they don't know to come looking for her. Next, I have Just One by Gail Forman. This is a bind-up of her books Just One Day, Just One Year, and then her novella Just One Night. I do own Just One Day, but I have like a damaged and dirty copy because I bought it at the thrift store, and so it's kind of steered me away from actually picking it up. But I also wanted to read the other stories in this trilogy as well, so when I saw this for really cheap, I was like, well, why not? Plus, like, I think this cover is so cute, and I don't mind bind-up editions. I actually really like them because it takes up less space. So yeah, I'm glad I have this one. Next, I have The Treatment by Suzanne Young. This is book 2 to the Program series, and I have not read the Program yet, but I do plan on reading it sometime relatively soon, and I just feel like I'll really enjoy it, so I want to go ahead and have the sequel ready for when I finish reading the Program so that I can just go from one book to the next. Hopefully I do really like it because I just bought the second book. Next, I have Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I read her book Starry Eyes last month and I really loved it, so I really want to continue reading some more of her books, so I'm very excited to get to this one. It's a YA contemporary romance, and I feel like this will be the perfect kind of book to get me out of a slump. Next, I have Beastly by Alex Finn. This is the movie tie-in edition, which isn't the greatest cover, but it's whatever. I've contemplated buying this book for years and I finally caved in. I don't know when I'll read it, but I really love Beauty and the Beast retellings, so I decided to finally give this one a try. Next, I have These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly, and boy is this book a lot bigger than I thought it was. Like, I thought it was just going to be this little tiny paperback. Definitely wasn't. This thing is heavy, and it's not like the biggest book ever, but it's a lot bigger than I was expecting. I really don't know what this book is about, but I have heard really good things about it. I believe it's a mystery thriller. I mean, I guess it's about murder. I have no idea. I think there's like a historical element to it as well. I'm not sure, but I decided to pick it up because I have heard good things about it, and whenever I'm in the mood for like a dark mystery type story, maybe I'll pick this one up. Next, I have This Adventure Ends by Emma Mills. This is a contemporary story about these group of friends that go on this wild, crazy adventure. A fellow booktuber, who I will leave up above, recommended this book, and I trust her opinion. Also, she made it sound like this book is right up my alley. It seems like the perfect kind of book for me, so I will probably be reading it relatively soon. It's very short, so I feel like I can fly through it. It'll probably be a random impulse pickup read, but we'll see. Regardless, I'm excited to have it. Next, I have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is one of the only, if not the only, Morgan Matson books that I don't currently own, so I decided to pick it up. I love Morgan Matson. She's one of my favorite contemporary authors, so I finally have Unexpected Everything. I believe this is about a girl whose dad has a political scandal, and so they have to like uproot their lives for the summer, and she has to become a dog walker and all these different crazy things. I'm assuming there's a romance in this as well. I love Morgan Matson, so I know I'll probably love this. Next, I have Come Back to Me by Milla Gray. This is a story about a girl whose brother and boyfriend are in the military, and they are both deployed, and then one day an officer knocks on her door, and she knows that this officer is going to tell her that either her brother or her boyfriend has passed away, and this is, I guess, it's like her inner thoughts and maybe flashbacks, I'm not really sure, of her family relationship and of her romantic relationship with these two people, and it's basically like her deciding who she wants to be dead and who she wants to be still alive. I'm sure this is going to be completely heart-wrenching. It's not something that I would usually grab, but for some reason that storyline just like really called my name. Next, I have a middle grade book, The Search for Wanla by Tony DeTerlizzi. What? DeTerlizzi? DeTerlizzi? I have no idea. I'm sorry. This is a middle grade adventure story about a girl fleeing for her life. I don't really know much about it other than that, but I believe Reagan from Peruse Project really likes this series. Next, I have Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. This is a Red Riding Hood retelling. I enjoyed Rosamund Hodge's Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I read a couple years ago, so this one has been on my TBR for many years, and I finally decided to buy it. Next, I have The Assassin's Heart by Sarah Ahers. What is up with me pronouncing names today? This is a YA fantasy story inspired by The Godfather and Romeo and Juliet. That sounds like an interesting combination. I think I'll really like this one. Next, I have The Winter's Crime by Marie Rutowski. This is the second book in the Winter's Curse series, I believe. Yeah. I have owned the first book for many years, but I never picked it up, and I think now that I have the sequel, it will push me to read it faster, because I generally like to have all the books in a series, especially if I know that I'm going to like it, and I really do think I'll enjoy the series. So now that I have the first two books, maybe I'll read it sooner than later. And lastly, I have The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I don't know what this is about, honestly. I'm guessing it's about The Last Magician. I know it's like a YA fantasy story, and beyond that, I have no idea. But I've heard really good things about this one, and I love fantasy, so had to get it. Just kidding, that definitely wasn't the last book. I don't know what I was thinking. Next, I have Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. This is a dystopian series where I guess the water on Earth is running out. I'm not really sure, but I have heard good things about this one as well, and it's pretty short, so I think I could fly through it, which is always nice. I also picked up Winter Spell by Claire Legrand. Claire Legrand is an author that has been getting more popular recently in the booktube community, and I believe this is one of her first novels, so I decided to give it a try because it has been on my TBR since before people really knew about her. This one does get mixed reviews, but I am interested to see what I think about it. Apparently this story is set in 1899 about a girl Clara Stoll, and there's a Christmas Eve disaster, and I don't want to know anything more beyond that. Next, I have The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. This is a female gladiator story, so I'm totally on board for that. I also really love that historical setting of Rome. So I'm thinking I'm going to really like this one. Next, I have Deceptive by Emily Lloyd Jones. This is the second book in the Elusive duology, and I read the first book sometime earlier this year, and I really liked it. It's basically this dystopian world in which this virus broke out and they created a vaccine, but they didn't really test the vaccine to make sure there weren't any harmful side effects, and it turns out that this vaccine gave people superpowers. The main character is an illusionist, which means she can make people see whatever she wants them to see. I really liked it and I had to get the sequel. I am somewhat upset though because like out of nowhere this book dropped off the face of the earth and I couldn't find it on the internet in paperback, and on Amazon the hardback was like 30 bucks when it used to be like maybe $8, and so I was very confused as to what was happening, and then I saw it on Book Outlet for $3 and I was like, yeah, I'm about to snatch that up because there's no telling if I'll ever be able to find it again. And finally, for real this time, lastly, I have Replica by Lauren Oliver. I really like Lauren Oliver's writing. I know her books get very mixed reviews, but I do really enjoy them. I don't know much about the story besides it's from two different girls' point of views. We have Lyra and Gemma, and it's basically they're two separate stories and then they come together. You have to read them both in order for the story to really make sense. And I almost forgot to mention, I officially have 2 signed books. This is a signed first edition. As you can see right here, there's an L and an O signature. Thanks, Lauren Oliver, even though you have no idea who I am. Alright, that is it for this video today. Those are the 23 books I bought for myself in the month of March. I definitely cannot buy any more books anytime soon. I have to exercise self-control because man is it a problem for me out of nowhere. I think it's because I was in a slump for so long. Now that I'm reading a ton of books now, it's just like I need to get my hands on more of them, even though I own like over 150 books that I have not read. Yes, I have a problem, but at least it's something that I'm passionate about, and that's really all that matters. They make me happy, okay? Alright, that is it for this video today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content by me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.